In this video, I am going to discuss about the prime numbers and encryption using prime numbers. Now, what are these prime numbers? A prime number is nothing but a natural number which is greater than 1 and cannot be formed by multiplying two smaller natural numbers. Now, what is the opposite of prime numbers? The opposite of prime numbers are composite numbers. Again, if you see, for example, the number 3, it is a prime number. On the other hand, if we take the number 6, we can write 6 as the product of 2 and 3. Hence, 6 is a composite number. Now, to check whether a number is prime number or not, we have to see whether it is divisible by any other number. So, hence, I would like to discuss about few rules which are applicable for divisibility by 2, 4, 8, divisibility by 3, 9 and divisibility by 11. Now what is the rule for divisibility by 2? I think we all know any number which ends with an even number is divisible by 2. All the even numbers 2, 4, 6, 8. If a number ends with 2, 4, 6, 8 and 0, then we call that number an even number. So all such numbers are divisible by 2. Let us take the case of the number 342. It ends with 2 and hence it is divisible by 2. Hence this is not a prime number. It is a composite number. Next, let us take the example of 4. What is the rule for divisibility by 4? The rule for divisibility by 4 is we have to consider the last two digits of a number. That is these two digits. If these two digits, if it is considered as a single number and if this number is divisible by 4, then the entire number is divisible by 4. If you see this 348, the last two digits, it is 48 and we know that 48 is divisible by 4. Hence 348 is divisible by 4. So if we divide 348 by 4, we get the answer 87. Now, what is the divisibility rule for 8? The divisibility rule for 8 is we have to check the last 3 digits of any number. Now, let us take the case of 10016. We have to see the last 3 digits and we have to check whether it is divisible by 8 or not. Here, in this number 10,016, the last 3 digits, it is 016, that is 16. Now, is 16 divisible by 8 or not? It is divisible by 8. So, the number 10,016 is divisible by 8 and we get the answer 1252. So, this is how we can check whether a number is divisible by 4 or 8. Now, all numbers which are divisible by 4 and 8, it is divisible by 2 also, but this is just for your reference. I have included all these. Next, we will see the divisibility rule for 3. Now, how we know whether a number is divisible by 3 or not? Now, let us take any number. Let us take 242. We have to add these digits. We have to add or we have to find the sum of the digits of the number 2 plus 4 plus 2. It is 8. Now we have to see whether the sum of the digits of the number is divisible by 3 or not. If it is divisible by 3, then this given number is divisible by 3. Here the sum of the digits 2, 4 and 2 is 8, which is not divisible by 3. Hence 242 is not divisible by 3. Now let us take another number 363. If we add the digits of these numbers, we get 3 plus 6 plus 3, which is nothing but 12. So we have to see whether the sum of the digits is divisible by 3. Here we get 12. 12 is divisible by 3. So the given number 363 is divisible by 3. This is the rule which we can use to check whether a number is divisible by 3 or not. Now, the next one is divisibility by 9. Divisibility by 9. Divisibility 9 is also similar to 3. Again, we have to add the digits of all the digits of the number, and if that sum is divisible by 9, then the given number is also divisible by 9. Next, we will see divisibility by 11. In this, to find whether a number is divisible by 11 or not, we have to add the alternating numbers and then find their difference. If that answer is divisible by 11 or if that answer is 0, then the given number is divisible by 11. Now let me take an example. Now let us consider the number 2794. 2794. Okay. So we have to add the alternating numbers, or we can do like this also. Start from the extreme left, add 2, subtract 7, add 9, subtract 4. So if you do this, on simplification you will get 0. So hence, when we add the alternating numbers and find the difference, we get 0. And the rule for divisibility by 11 is this difference should be 0 or it should be divisible by 11. Hence, since this is 0, the given number 2734 is divisible by 11. So when we divide 2734 by 11, we get 254. Now let us take another example. 9262. 9262. Here again we use the same thing. We add the alternating numbers. Here we get this difference as 11. Here this 11 is divisible by 11. Hence the given number 9262 is also divisible by 11. And when we divide 9262 by 11, we get 842. So this is how we can use various rules to check whether a given number is divisible by 2, 4, 8, 3, 9, 11. Now, the next method we have is the trial division method. In this trial division method, we have to take the given number. Say suppose the given number is 229 and we have to check whether this number is a prime number or not. Now, we have to find the square number which is less than the given number. So the square number which is less than 229 is nothing but 15 square. 15 square is 225. This 225 is less than 229. The next step is we have to find all the prime numbers which is less than this number. That is all the prime numbers less than 15. The prime numbers less than 15 are 13, 11, 7, 5, 3 and 2. Now we have to see whether 229 is divisible by each of these numbers. If it is not divisible by any of these numbers, then we can say the given number is a prime number. So hence, if we see here, 229 is not divisible by any of these numbers. So hence 229 is a prime number. So this is called trial division method. Next we have co-prime numbers. We say any two numbers are relatively prime or co-prime if their greatest common divisor is equal to 1. We say two numbers x and y are co-prime if their greatest common divisor is equal to 1 or they do not have any common factors. Let us take an example. Let us consider the example. Let us take 12, 12, 8. Now let us take the numbers 12, 8. We have to see the greatest common divisor of these two numbers. If we see the greatest common divisor of these two numbers is 4. The GCD of 12, 8 is 4. So hence 12 and 8 are not co-prime. On the other hand, let us take 7, 12. Now let us see whether there are any common factors between 7 and 12. There are no common factors between 7 and 12. Hence, the GCD of 7 and 12 is equal to 1. So hence we can say 7 and 12 are co-prime. So these are called co-prime numbers. Now next we will see an algorithm which was devised by a Greek mathematician by the name of Eratosthenes. According to him, he has devised an algorithm wherein we have to move by step to see what are the various prime numbers. First, we have to identify the first prime number. Then we have to strike out all those numbers which are divisible by that prime number. See, suppose here the first prime number we see here is 2. Here we have to strike out all numbers which are divisible by 2. So here all the even numbers we can strike out because all these numbers are divisible by 2. The next step is we have to see the next number. The next prime number is 3. We can circle those prime numbers. The next prime number is 3. So now we have to see all the multiples of 3. Here some of the multiples are already striked out. So the remaining alone we can do. 21, 27. So we have to continue this process until we are left with only the prime numbers. So if we continue this process, the next number is 5. So we have to cross out all multiples of 5. The next number is 7. So we have to cross out all multiples of 7. So when we continue with this process, we will be left with only the prime numbers in this arrangement of 1 to 100. The next prime number is 7. We have to strike out all multiples of 7. The next prime number is 11. So we strike out all multiples of 11. Then the next prime number is 13. Here we strike out all multiples of 13. Then the next prime number is 17 and the process will go on until we are left with only the prime numbers. So this is a way in which we can find out all the prime numbers from a given set of numbers. It was devised by the Greek mathematician Eratosthenes C. And he has developed this method Eratosthenes C. Next, what is the use of these prime numbers or where these prime numbers are applied? Basically, these prime numbers are used in encryption and decryption. Now, what do we mean by encryption and decryption? Encryption is nothing but the conversion of any readable data into a scrambled one which cannot be understood by everyone. Decryption is the process of decoding the scrambled data so that it is understandable by the receiver. So it is usually done when the operation is secret between the sender and the receiver. To understand about encryption and decryption, before we move on to the next topic, we have to know one operator which is the modulo operator. Here there are various arithmetic operations or operators which we already know. There are various arithmetic operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication and division which we already know. Here the arithmetic operation addition, it will return the sum of two numbers. The arithmetic operation subtraction will give the difference of two numbers. This one, the arithmetic operation multiplication, it returns the product of two numbers. The arithmetic operation division returns the quotient of when one number is divided by the another number. The another operation which we are newly going to learn is the mod operation or modulo operation. This operation will return the remainder when one number is divided by another number. So, the modulo operation is nothing but it is the remainder obtained after dividing one number by another number. It is denoted by mod. Say for example, if A is the remainder obtained on dividing m by n, then we write m congruent to A mod n. Say suppose when we divide 14 by 12, the remainder we get is 2. 14 we divide by 12, so the remainder we get is 2. So we can write using this modulo operation 14 congruent to 2 mod 12. This is how the modulus operation is used. So we have to write 14 congruent to 2 mod 12. It is nothing but when we divide 14 by 12, then we get the remainder as 2. This is called modulo operation. As I already mentioned, prime numbers are used in encryption and decryption of data. In that encryption decryption of data, we will see one algorithm which is the RSA algorithm. It was invented by Rivest, Shamir and Adelman in 1978. This algorithm follows certain steps. The first step is we have to find two prime numbers P and Q. These prime numbers P and Q are sufficiently large so that it is difficult to identify. Next, we have to find the product of these two numbers. N is equal to PQ. The next step is we have to find R, which is equal to P minus 1 and Q minus 1. And we have to find E, that is relatively prime to R. That is, the GCD of E comma R should be equal to 1. Then the third step is the pair E comma N, it forms the RSA public key. And the fourth step is we have to find D so that we can get the private key. Now how to calculate this D? D is calculated as DE congruent to 1 mod R. That is, when we divide DE by R, we have to get the remainder as 1. That is how we have to find D. Now, the next step, the most important step is the number which has to be encrypted is X. So, we have to obtain Y, which is the encrypted form of X. So, Y is the encrypted form of X. We have to obtain this number Y based on this relation. This relation X power E congruent to Y mod N. And the last step is decryption. In this process, we will be able to get the value of X using the relation Y power D congruent to X mod N. Now we will see a simple example. It is a very simple example so that it is easy to understand. Now let us take two persons A and B. A is the sender and B is the receiver. And let us say the number 2 should be encrypted. So the number 2 is encrypted by A and it is sent to B, and B has to decrypt this number. Now let us see how RSA algorithm is helpful in doing this. Now the first step is to find out two prime numbers P and Q. So the first step is we have to find out P and Q. Here I am giving very simple numbers so that it is easy to understand. So let us take P is equal to 3 and Q is equal to 11. so that n is equal to PQ, this 33. The second step is we have to find R is equal to P minus 1 into Q minus 1. R is equal to P minus 1 to Q minus 1. We get 2 into 10, which is 20. The third step, before going to the third step, we have to find E, which is relatively prime to R. Now let us take E is equal to 7. E is equal to 7. Next one, the third step is we have the public key. The public key is nothing but 7, 33. The fourth step is we have to find out the private key, that is D, in such a way that DE congruent to 1 mod R. So DE congruent to 1 mod R means 7D congruent to 1 mod 20. This is nothing but 7D equal to 21, which implies D is equal to 3. So we have found out 7, 33 is the RSA public key and 3, 33 is the RSA private key. Next, we have to encrypt x is equal to 2 using the relation x bar e congruent to y mod n, which is the fifth step. The fifth step is we have to encrypt x is equal to 2 using the relation x bar e congruent to y mod n. So here e is 7, x is 2. So 2 power 7 is congruent to y mod n is 33. So we have to find the relation 2 power 7 congruent to y mod 33. So if we simplify 128 congruent to y mod 33, when we use the modulus operation and divide 128 by 33, we get y is equal to 29. Now the last step is decryption. That is, we have to find x. Now let us see whether we get the decrypted value of x from y is equal to 29. Here, the last step, we have to use the operation y power d congruent to x mod n. So 29 power d. Here we have d as 3. 29 raised to 3 congruent to x mod 33. When we simplify this, we get 24,389 congruent to x mod 33. On dividing 24,389 by 33, we get the remainder as 2. So hence we have obtained the given value x is equal to 2. That is how we have encrypted x is equal to 2 into y is equal to 29, and from that we have obtained the decrypted value of y, which is nothing but x is equal to 2. So this is a simple example in which we have used RSA algorithm to transfer messages from one person to another using encryption and decryption and using prime numbers. Okay, thank you friends. I hope this video was helpful for you. In my next video, I will be discussing about binary numbers. Thank you.